Hey everybody, welcome to Awaken Living. My name is Craig. I am a licensed therapist and a spiritual teacher and also a longtime meditation teacher. And I wanted to start this channel to basically take the last 20 years of my study and practice of psychology, various forms of meditation, and Eastern spirituality, and really synthesize and integrate these subjects into a set of really accessible, simple, straightforward teachings that you guys can immediately start applying to your lives. We're going to be covering a ton of topics on this channel, and I'm really excited to be with you guys. And our first subject is going to be meditation. So let's get to it. So meditation is a subject that is really near and dear to my heart. I can honestly say that meditation has changed my life over the 20 years that I've been practicing it. And it's just truly one of the most powerful spiritual practices there is. It has countless benefits, including helping you have more peace in your being, regulate the nervous system, calm the mind, and just overall provide you with more focus, attention, and well-being. And the list goes on and on. By no means is meditation an easy practice, and one of the reasons why I wanted to create this video is to really cut through a lot of the bullshit that's out there. I really think a lot of the way that people have taught meditation traditionally is hard and ineffective for most people. And I learned this through struggling for many, many years, trying to force my way into a Buddha-like meditative state, which never ended up working. And I'll explain all of that to you guys along the way. But I did want to take these concepts of meditation and the practice of meditation, which is truly like a deeply powerful thing, but also create it so that you guys can get into the practice without just butting your head up against the wall, which is such a common experience with meditation. So there's two common reasons why meditation is so challenging and why so many people really want to get into a practice because they've heard about it or they just have an intuitive feeling that it's going to be really helpful for them. But then within the first, few days of practicing, their mind just will not stop thinking, chattering, and so they quit. And that's such a common thing that I've run into with students and with clients over the years. I have been able to come up with a few really important tips and ways of teaching meditation that I think will really help you guys. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So there are two main reasons why meditation is really challenging practice to both begin and to maintain. And I'm going to break it down really simple for you guys. So the number one reason meditation is so challenging is because we've all been taught and we've all heard about meditation through various teachers, Eastern teachings, YouTube videos, books, that the point of meditation is to arrive at some perfect Buddha state where your mind is totally empty of thoughts and you're in a perfect state of equilibrium, a perfect state of peace. And that is really, really far from the reality of what meditation actually is and how to go about practicing it. So when you go into meditation, as most people do, and I know I completely did this, you have, basically you're chasing after an idea in your head about, again, arriving at some perfect state. And the reality of what happens when you start to meditate is that it's anything but that. It is chaos. The mind does not stop talking. There's constant thinking, discomfort in the body, challenging emotions that arise. And what ends up happening is people start to meditate and they think that they're doing it wrong. And I'm sure there's many of you out there who have had this experience starting a practice and having the mind not be able to shut off and having uncomfortable things come up. And then the thought is, I'm doing it wrong. I can't do this. Meditation is not for me. And then you quit. And that's such a common experience. And I know I spent years, chasing after this idealized state in my mind about, what meditation was supposed to bring you to, this Buddha state. But over the years, I recognized and learned a few really, really very, very helpful tools to make meditation way more easy and accessible. So the second reason why meditation is a practice that's really difficult to begin and maintain is that so much of meditation is approached through the thinking mind. There's an idea, again, that meditation is supposed to make your mind be silent or totally clear. And as students start to meditate, it's really very mind focused. It's all about quieting the thoughts, observing the thoughts. And there's some really helpful parts of that, don't get me wrong. But one of the biggest reasons why it's so hard to stop the chattering mind is because of the nervous system. And so this is the number 2 tip that we're going to cover in today's video, is really shifting the focus from the mind into the nervous system. All right, so those are our top 2 reasons. So getting back to number 1, instead of approaching meditation like we're trying to arrive at some perfect Buddhist state where our mind is no longer thinking and we're in perfect peace, forget that. What we're going to do instead is we're going to allow everything to be here as it is. The real secret to starting to actually meditate is a bit paradoxical, because instead of trying to control our experience or, repress our experience or make our thoughts go away, or stop, not to feel painful emotions, we're going to allow everything to be as it is. So we're going to sit in meditation, and we're going to just let whatever arises arise. So the thinking mind is going to be very active and noisy. We're just going to let those thoughts come and go. Emotions are going to arise, sensations are going to arise in the body. And instead of trying to control our experience, we're simply going to allow everything to be as it is, and to observe and to just be present for the experience without trying to change your experience. And paradoxically, as you learn to practice this and you learn to allow everything to be as it is, including the thinking mind, you actually start to settle in to a more peaceful experience of stillness. But only after you allow your mind and body and emotional body to feel and to think and to do its thing. And so really just paying attention to what's present. One of my teachers called meditation honesty time. So it's a way of just being with yourself and tuning in to what's present in you. Maybe you find that when you start to meditate, you can't stop thinking. Maybe you find that you're exhausted. Maybe you find that there is a sadness you've been avoiding all day or all week long. And it's a time for you to actually start to feel that sadness. So again, we're going to allow everything to be as it is. So that's the number 1 meditation tip. Number 2 is the focus not on the mind, but on the nervous system. So we live in a society where almost everyone is in a overstimulated state of being. We have overstimulated nervous systems that are stressed and anxious and overwhelmed. Many people have experienced trauma, which has ramped up and dysregulated the nervous system. And so, again, most of us are out there doing a million things, drinking many cups of coffee, and just tweaking out basically. And I know that I have been in this state for much of my life as well, so I know this very well. But almost everyone I know has an overstimulated aspect to their nervous system. And when we meditate, what happens is that when the focus is on the mind and you have an overstimulated nervous system or a dysregulated nervous system, what ends up happening is that dysregulation in the body then goes up into the mind and leads to the obsessive thinking, the rumination, the kind of constant barrage of thoughts that most of us have going almost all the time. And so the way that meditation is often taught is a very mind-based practice where we're either focusing on something or trying to make our mind and our thoughts go silent. But my secret, number 2, is to focus on the body and focus on the nervous system. So one simple practice that you can do when you're trying to meditate, and this is really effective, is to just place a hand on your chest, and you can place a second hand on your solar plexus or your stomach or another area of the body that you tend to maybe be anxious or overstimulated or hold stress or tension. And what we're going to do is just apply pressure to this area or a couple areas of your body and be with the breath. So we're going to allow ourselves to just breathe naturally and applying some pressure. And what this pressure does, it sends the nervous system a signal that the body can regulate and that you are safe, because the overstimulation is really a fight or flight state in the nervous system, and we need to approach meditation and healing in general from the nervous system being the foundational element to it. And so by applying some pressure during our meditation, it sends a message to the brain and to the nervous system that you are safe and that the body can unwind and relax. And this is really, really key for meditation. So instead of trying to meditate and kind of forcing your way through it and battling against your mind, as many meditators do, which is really frustrating, we're going to, one, allow everything to be as it is. And number two, we're going to apply some pressure to somewhere on the body. And in many cases, the chest is the best area to do this, but you can experiment with, again, hand on the stomach, solar plexus, throat, neck. But I would start off by putting a hand or both hands in the chest area and applying some light pressure. You're not applying heavy pressure, but light pressure, but enough to where you can feel it. And that's really going to help the body and nervous system respond. So as you practice meditation with these two tips, these two tools, you're going to find that you're able to relax into a state of being, a state of presence, a state of stillness much, much more easily than if you try to just sit there and make your mind go quiet and make your feelings go away and sensations go away. So again, allowing what is, applying some pressure, and as always, you'll hear me talk a lot on this channel about being kind to yourself. So we're really going to incorporate acceptance, patience with yourself, self-compassion, and self-love. That is absolutely key. And if you can't get to the self-love part right away, start off with just some kindness and some patience with your experience. So there you have it, the two tools that you can use to both start and maintain a meditation practice. I can't tell you guys enough how important it is and how powerful it is to practice these techniques when it comes to meditation. So number one, we're going to allow everything to be as it is instead of fighting against our mind. And number two is we're going to apply some light pressure to the body, which sends the message to the brain and the nervous system that it can relax, that it is safe, and that it can go into a state of regulation and calm. And after the focus on the body, the mind naturally starts to settle, and you can actually start to experience some of that deep stillness that everyone is seeking from a meditation practice. So those are the two tools. We're going to do a guided meditation next, and we're going to apply these tools in real time.